I love that intro so much. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we believe, and let's be honest, we're the best people when it comes to talking about our favorite teams. I'm your co-host, Isaac.
And I'm Kylie.
And I'm Calvin, aka 40.
And welcome to episode 27. Lots to talk about today. Start of NFL training camp, so I had to get out the Tom Brady 2000 over here. I have some thoughts on Tom Brady and the Bucks that will be coming up later. Don't worry about it.
Can't wait to get into that one.
Don't worry about it. You guys are going to be very confused. Anyway, it's episode 27. As always, big shout out to all of our sponsors who are scrolling around on the bottom there. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And also shout out to Old City Sports Network. Especially wouldn't be here without you guys.
Right.
As always, if you guys want to get in on some of the action that we get in on, you can use promo code OCS at www.bodycheckwellness.com to get 25% off all of your hemp-derived CBD oils and edibles for you, as well as your furry friends. Use that same promo code over at www.norsebeards.com, and you can get 25% off at checkoff for all of your favorite Beersman products. Remember, check out, check off, check out, check out. Check out. Okay. Hey, one of these days I was gonna screw up an ad read, but you know what? It doesn't matter because the beard is looking luxurious, all because of Norse Beards and their excellent products. So go ahead, give support to those two companies, guys. Go use that promo code. Remember, promo code OCS. Get it done for you guys. All right, plenty to talk about, and we're gonna start as we always do with a little jump over into the world of baseball. Now, Kylie, you are watching the Phillies right now live, so we should expect some interesting reactions from you, correct?
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see, indeed. We will see. Let's kick things off.
I'm actually hoping for the Phillies to win to help my Mets for that first place in the NL East.
I don't want to talk about the Mets. Don't even.
We are all hating each other right now. It's a fun time.
So the Subway Series started last night with the Yankees and the Mets, and after that first inning, I thought, at the top of the first, I thought, back-to-back homers. I think we can do this. I hate the Mets.
We all hate the Mets.
Yeah.
Except for Calvin for some reason.
Screw the Mets.
No, but we've got a lot of different things going on, especially with baseball, because the trade deadline's only in a week.
Yes, it is. And the big name on the trade deadline for this year is Juan Soto. Where's he going to end up? Yankees.
He's not going to end up on the Yankees.
Unfortunately, insiders have said that the final two teams that have come down for him are the Cardinals. I'm right. Yeah, the Cardinals and the Padres, correct?
Yeah, probably.
Just why? Like, I get the Cardinals, okay? The Cardinals, I can legit see them making a deep playoff run because they have the pieces. And also, it's Albert Pujols' final season. I mean, you got to give him one more. But the Padres? How many big-name free agents have gone to San Diego only to have their careers wither away or just, not live up to expectations?
I feel you on that. I like where you're going with that, but I don't think we'll see that Juan Soto. He's a different type of player. He's a guy that he's fun. He's electrifying. So I think wherever Juan Soto goes, he will make an impact. And not only that, they got Tatis over there, and he hasn't even played yet. So, when Tatis and Soto in a lineup together is, that's a lot of home runs right there.
And Machado
as well, exactly. That's a lot of home.
Now, Tatis just did have his first batting practice since his injury, so hopefully the hope is that he can come back for the second half and help a push. Padres are in the thick of the wild card fight right now. There's not a lot of hope for them winning the division because Dodgers, but I can see that if the Padres could get Soto, not only do they already have a stacked lineup, that makes it even more dangerous. Then you have a chance to make a deep playoff push. But again, it's San Diego. We know what's going to happen. It always happens. Every year that the Padres say that this is going to be the year, it doesn't happen. And I'll give them credit. Last year, they were hit by injuries. And the year before that was the COVID year, and nobody really counts that. So, but there's not a lot of precedent for the Padres to make a deep playoff run because in the past, it hasn't really worked.
No, it hasn't.
I would prefer, I'd like to see it work. And I know Kylie, you would, because Kylie, you said, in our predictions for in our postseason predictions, you have the Padres winning it all. So
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. By the way, you already lost, by the way, Kylie. You didn't have the Astros in the playoffs at all, and the Astros are 100% going to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just didn't pick them because I hate them. But
Fair enough.
But no. So with the trade deadline going on, a name for some reason that's been put out is Shohei Ohtani.
Why? What do the
Because this dude is gonna get a massive contract. You're already paying Trout and Rendon a lot of money, so it would make sense for them to trade him. But they're not going to trade him. They're stupid. It would be smart but stupid at the same time to trade him because they're not going to go anywhere.
They really
unfortunately. Aren't. And so I did ask the poll on Twitter. I was like, will the Angels really deal Ohtani at the trade deadline?
What was the results?
Out of 49 votes, 67% said no.
I think 67% is pretty good because
I think he might.
I don't see it. I think the Angels know they have a once in a generation talent, and they're not going to let him get away at all. They'd be stupid.
Dogs are agreeing with somebody, so
yeah, they got 2 once in a generational talents. They're not. What they got to do. Here's what they got to do. The Angels need to pull a money ball here. Go for players that are undervalued but are way better than you think. Don't get rid of your 2 generational talents, but work with your pieces that no one else wants and trade them around and try and build up a team full of solid depth that, people would underestimate. Because you're playing in a stacked division. You're playing in a division with the Asterix, who are always going to be good, unfortunately, and the Mariners, who at the moment look like they're finally going to break the postseason drought, which, please, God, let it happen. Let it happen.
Let it happen.
But with those 2 massive contracts with Trout and Ohtani, you can't get any big superstars. So you got to go the Moneyball approach. Undervalued players that'll play for lower salary, get them on the team, get that depth going. You just got to build up. Because the Angels, they can't waste this opportunity.
No.
They have this season. This season is lost. They have just been completely terrible. But they can't get rid of Ohtani and Trout because if that happens, well, it's just back to square one. We have nothing. And the Angels, they can't afford that. I mean, look at their conditions. They're still playing in an old, dilapidated stadium that hasn't really changed much since the 70s. They're second fiddle in their own market to the Dodgers, which is unfortunate. Like, for them, they have to capitalize on this. The only thing that's keeping people coming to Angel Stadium is Ohtani and Trout. Yeah. They cannot afford to lose them.
No, they really can't.
And they have a loyal-ass fan base. Angels fans are loyal as hell. They may have one of the smallest fan bases in baseball because, they have to share a metropolitan area with the Dodgers. But their fans are loyal. They will show up even on 100-degree days, which it's Anaheim. It's usually 100 degrees.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. It's complicated because I understand why they would do it because his trade value is not going to be anywhere near as high as it is at this moment. But at the same time, I mean, it just shows you're not going to go anywhere.
I think it would be good on both sides though if he does go because on the Angels side, it's like, all right, now you don't have to spend all this money and pay all this money to this one guy, that in our franchise may never be anything. You may waste all his career. And then on the other side, Ohtani leaves. It's like, all right, I can get this big contract. I can go to maybe a winning team and maybe we can get something going. So I think they should part ways. I'm not going to lie.
I can see why they would.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think they. Again, I don't think the Angels are stupid enough to do it, but
I don't think they'll do it either. But it's possible.
Are the Angels beating the Royals today? That's the realest question.
Who's pitching?
We have Jansen Junk and Brad Keller on the mound.
Who?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Jansen Junk?
I have no idea.
Janson Junk.
Huh.
Who?
This must be his first career start. He's 0-0.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
It's either his pretty much a debut or it's a bullpen game.
Just so we're clear, the Angels this month in July so far are 4-15. 4-15.
And I think Shohei Ohtani has 2 of those wins as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
Ohtani is literally like the only other pitchers that they have that are actually winning are Reed Detmers and Jose Suarez.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to. What to say, man.
I don't know what's going on with them.
It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. Well, anyway, other stuff going on in the baseball world. Trade deadline is a week and a half away, so of course we will bring you all the excitement from that. Moving on to some more stuff that happened around the baseball world. This is a funny thing. This was going to be Goober of the Week, I think, but we decided to do something a little different for that, which is going to be weird. It's a sport we don't talk about for Goober of the Week. We'll get there. Kylie, you want to play the clip of what the Giants did?
Yes.
Watch
Here
this.
we go. Okay,
Yes.
So for those who didn't see it, watch it again because the MLB thing was in the way. Watch it again.
It's even funnier the second time around.
Right?
It's even
So
funnier.
he kicked the bat.
Yeah, Carlos Rodon kicked the bat, and Thairo Estrada was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, it's just only in baseball, man, that can happen.
Right? Only in baseball is just such an interesting sport, to say the least.
Speaking of interesting stuff in baseball, we have some games to discuss. As always, we like to comment on some of the ass whoopings that go on in the baseball world, like the Cubs killing the Phillies 15-2.
Yeah.
Kylie, this left Philadelphia media in shambles, and this is the part. This is a part of the show that we love to turn it over. We love so much. We're gonna turn it over to Kylie here for her weekly rant about Philly media. Kylie, take the stage.
Oh yeah. I hate Philly media. All right. So what happened was a reporter who was well known in Philadelphia, pretty well respected, asked Castellanos if he heard the thousands of people booing. His exact quote was, "Did you hear all the boos?" So before I get into any of that, do you really think he didn't hear thousands of people at the same time booing? Do you really think he didn't? Like, I understand it was a kind of a setup question for like further up questions. You really could have asked a more intelligent question, first of all.
I don't know, man. Maybe Castellanos had that. I'm gonna. By the way, this next joke, if you love The Simpsons, you're probably gonna get this. If you've never seen The Simpsons, don't worry about it. I don't know. He probably heard the boos and thought they were saying "boo earns, boo earns." That was a terrible joke. I thought.
Whatever.
Oh, look, Simpsons fans know that joke. Just keep going, Kylie. I thought it was funny.
It was funny. It was a good one, buddy.
Boo earns.
But he, in typical Castellanos fashion, who doesn't, play with the media, which he shouldn't have to, he said, "Nah, man, I lost my hearing," which is genuinely a funny answer, and it was a perfect answer to a stupid ass question. And then, the video was edited to look like it got. Well, first, after he said, "Nah, man, I lost my hearing," he said, "Come on, man, that's a stupid question." Yeah. It is.
It is.
You get the opportunity to interview a player and give him a chance to talk to let fans know that he's working on it and that he's going to try to do better. And you ask a stupid ass question to someone like Nick Castellanos, who doesn't give a shit about the media.
He does not.
Come on, dude. You get, and half of Philly had to stick up their ass, and they were like, "He's soft. He doesn't understand Philly." Nah, y'all don't understand Nick. That's what sometimes it is them not understanding Philadelphia. This one is them is half of the people not understanding Nick. That's what it is. But the video was obviously edited, but we didn't think anything further of it, of the fact that it was edited, and it looked like it got a little heated. Just right off the bat, and then Nick just kind of got all defensive and everything right off the bat. What actually happened, what actually came out, was there were further up questions, and Nick's response was actually perfect. He asked how Nick felt about it, and he was like, it is what it is. That's a Nick answer. He's not going to give you more than that. And so now the entire fan base is, not the entire fan base, but the intelligent part of the fan base was like, yeah, this is stupid. Like, Nick, we're on your side. Even more people got on his side. And then the entire Philly media was just fighting over at each other.
That sounds like typical Philadelphia stuff. No offense, Kylie.
It really is. And it makes you think, like, why don't players ever want to come here? This is why.
Oh, I thought it was the fact that the fans throw batteries at them and they have a jail in their stadium.
Moving on. You got people like, why do players get better once they leave Philadelphia? Because we boo them 2 games once they get here. Give them a goddamn chance.
Oh, it could be worse. It could be worse. Trust me. New York fans are pining for that top spot.
And I mean, it's just like, I get it. I booed Brad Hand for being completely ass for 2 games that I was at. But that's because he let up like a home run, didn't get any outs.
You can't change Philly sports fans. That's the thing. People have been trying to for years. They had a jail in Veterans Stadium because they thought the idea of having to spend a night in prison for bad behavior at the games would deter people from bad behavior, and people don't care. Like, that's just part. I think players just have to accept the fact that going into Philly, it's going to be different. There's no other part of the country that's like that, which I kind of respect in the way, because it's like, you know, it's unique. Like, no, it's unique, but at the same time, it's just, here we go again.
It's just like the people who are, it's frustrating because ever since Wentz got traded from the Eagles, I've been like adamant on being patient with the player and not giving up after one goddamn season. And half the fan base is like that and half isn't.
It's a no-win situation.
And the part that isn't is loud, obnoxious, stupid, and just it's frustrating.
You know what's funny? I can relate to that a little bit. This isn't sports related. Star Wars fans are the exact same way. Half of the fan base loves everything that gets put out there, and, well, they sometimes have issues with it. They can accept it's all good. And the other half wants to murder J.J. Abrams and Disney for daring to make things different.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's like,
they're the loud and annoying ones.
Yeah.
But I get it.
I mean, it's like, I get it. We all want to win. You know, there's certain times where I'm like, because I love my city, I love my teams. Obviously, I love my people, but sometimes shit just gets way out of hand, and this is one of them.
Philly sports fans are the Star Wars fans of the sports world. That's what I'll say.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, speaking of games this past week, so this past weekend, my dad and I went to Orioles Yankees game. Yankees won.
You left early?
I did, because the Yankees were up 7-3, and I forgot that Orioles always play well against us. However, I have several things about this game I need to talk about that can segue into our next thing. First off, all baseball stadiums need to implement a rule that you cannot get out of your seat and go up to the concourse during the actual innings. My dad and I were sitting on an aisle seat and missed half of the at-bats because people were getting in our way. To the point that my dad, he's a great guy, but this was really funny. My dad almost got into a fight with some people over it. And to be fair, it was like, Dad, I understand. I would love to punch these people in the face too, but I don't want to get kicked out. I want to watch Judge hit 2 home runs. I will say, shout out to the Nationals. I know you got stomped 10-1 by the Diamondbacks earlier this week. Sorry about that. I know you're the worst team in baseball, but you have the best stadium in the entire place. You guys at National Stadium, they have a rule in place that during actual innings, you can't leave your seat. We lost Calvin.
No, he's doing a baby check.
Oh, baby check. Okay. Calvin's checking his baby. We'll continue. Yeah. But they have a rule. They have a rule that you cannot get out of your seat and during the actual innings. You have to wait in the concourse, and it's only between innings that you're allowed to go down. And that way, so nobody is blocking the way. They don't have that at Camden Yards. I love Camden Yards. Yankee Stadium South is always, Camden Yards is always one of my favorite ballparks to go to. But that experience was extremely unpleasant because it's just we couldn't see anything. So, Dad, sorry about that. I know it wasn't the best experience, but at least we got to see Judge hit 2 home runs. During that game, I noticed something. You know how they always flash the scores of games going on at the same time? They kept flashing the score of a certain game being held at Fenway Park. At first, I thought, well, damn, the Blue Jays scored a lot of runs. Oh, damn. Oh, what is happening?
Yeah.
The Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 28-5.
28-5. Okay, relax. You don't gotta be that loud.
The Red Sox suck. They're so bad. Eat this hell, Boston. Oh, the Red Sox are terrible. They're so automatic goobers of the week's the Red Sox.
Spoiler alert.
Co-goober of the week. There's another goober we'll talk about. Co-goober of the week, the Boston Red Sox. That was the worst display of baseball I have ever seen, and I loved every minute of it. It was so glorious to watch them lose. And we're about to have a baby on the show.
Oh, we're about to have a baby on the show?
Yes, we are.
Hey!
Look who it is.
Look at her.
Oh.
Is that a sneeze or a cough?
She said hello. That was a cough.
Oh, Calvin, we were just talking about the Blue Jays embarrassing the Red Sox 28-5. Curious what your thoughts on are on that.
That was probably one of the craziest games I've ever seen because there was one point where I thought they were scoring at least 30 points because I believe it was like 25-3 in the 5th inning or something like that. And I was like, these guys are going to put up 30. I'm surprised they didn't put up 30. But if you watch that game, there was a lot of crazy errors that the Red Sox made. Like I watched one guy in the outfield just watch the ball and it just landed right next to him. And I was like, what is going on with these guys?
Yeah. It was like the inside the park grand slam.
Yeah, exactly. And even the batter, Tapia, when he hit it, he knew it was an out. He was like when you could see the frustration when he hit the ball. And then he's running around the bases and finally realizes the guy has no idea where the ball was and gets an inside the park grand slam. It was so crazy.
How does that happen?
There's no way to explain it.
Like I was on TikTok and Twitter. Boston fans are going freaking wild over that.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
I was going wild. That's the most satisfied I've been in years. No woman can ever satisfy me the way that the Blue Jays did that night. That was beautiful. Watching the team I hate the most just get dressed down and just and again and again. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh man.
I love it.
And the Blue Jays announcer actually returned to the booth after a cancer battle, and he called one of the a grand slam yesterday, 2 days ago.
Inside the park grand slam.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
it was a different grand slam.
Oh, different. Yeah, Blue Jays are starting to heat up a bit after getting rid of Charlie Montoya. They're starting to heat up a bit. It's good to see it. One last thing of baseball to talk about. By the way, I apologize to anyone listening whose eardrums were damaged by my laughing. To be fair, watching the Red Sox lose like that, it's just warms the soul. We actually had a really good game between some bottom feeders. Rangers beat the Athletics 11-8. I've always said, I said this at my job to my coworkers. They were asking, Isaac, why are you watching Marlins Pirates a couple weeks ago? And I said, well, it's because two bad teams playing each other equals good game. It always will end up being pretty fun because they're two teams with nothing to play for. So screw it.
Yeah,
you don't want
it's
to talk
true.
about the Mets. You don't want to talk about the Mets beating the Yankees last night.
Let's get into the Subway series.
That's game 1 of a 2-game series. We'll see you tonight. Moving on.
Is it a 2-game series?
Mad Max is on the mound tonight for the people watching. Mad Max is on the mound tonight. Go ahead and slam Mad Max 10 strikeouts. We're gonna give the Yankees the business.
Joey Gallo will be 3 of them.
I'd like to see you guys try. He probably will, considering he already did. Who's
you guys had us in the first inning, and then we took over the first inning.
That's in the first half. Not gonna lie.
Domingo Germán is on the mound for us. Well, congratulations, Calvin. You've won a good game.
I'm telling you, now that I saw what we did last night, because I'm not gonna lie, when you guys hit those first 2 home runs, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a blowout. These guys are gonna beat us, just how the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox the other day. And then when we came back, I was like, okay, we can run with these guys. And then when we won, I said, okay, we can take these guys to 7 in the series. So if we see you in the World Series, just know we're here.
I'm actually really concerned about the Yankees. They've stalled out completely. There was a time when they had like a 10-game lead over the rest of the league. They're only a game ahead of the Dodgers in the overall table. The Yankees are we're only 2 games ahead of the Astros for the AL first seed. The Yankees have stalled out and are in the midst of a really bad slump. And hopefully this slump eventually ends once we get out of July. But after the incredible start to the season we've had, this July has just been nightmarish. Like we can't get out of our own way.
The thing is, too, though, I feel like a lot of players started to die down a lot once the All-Star break started to come up. And then after the All-Star break, not everybody's gotten back into the groove yet. I think you guys will be fine. You guys still have power hitters across the board. So, and then you have that guy, Aaron Judge, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So,
if we can get a win tonight and close out July with a sweep of the Royals, which is possible because the Royals are trash. Sorry, Mom. I think we're set because down the stretch is going to get tough. We can't beat the Astros, but we know we can beat the rest of the AL East because the AL East is starting to fall apart. Well, one team is Boston.
Yeah, Boston's in shambles. They're gonna be major sellers at the trade deadline. Xander Bogaerts and
JD Martinez.
JD Martinez are gonna be gone. So.
I saw that rumor. Somebody shared. Was it Calvin? You shared that tweet?
If JD comes to the Mets, it's looking scary.
I'm just saying though, I would despite the way it was, last night's game was still really fun to watch. So please let my prediction of Subway Series 2021 beach. I think Calvin and you and I both put the Subway Series as our World Series.
Nah, I said Braves.
Yeah,
though.
You did. I put the Subway Series. Okay.
Yeah, I had us going to the NLCS versus the Braves, but I think the Braves edge us out.
I think it's going to happen. All right, Kylie.
What I saw last night.
What?
I don't know, man. There's still time to change your predictions once the playoff bracket officially starts. We can put our playoff predictions in. But for now, Kylie, let's hear our standings and our stat leaders before we transition over to some other sports.
All right, so we are gonna go with the stat leaders first. All right, so for batting, we have still Luis Arias with a 339 batting average. Home runs, of course, is Aaron Judge with 30-8. But Kyle Schwarber has 31 and he's catching up, so don't.
Every time you say that, it just doesn't happen.
Every time Aaron Judge hits 3 more.
Yeah.
Let it happen. For RBI, you got that dude that wears number 20 in New York for the Mets.
Yeah, I don't like him anymore.
He has 83 RBI, and then
80.
Judge has 1 less.
Yeah, Judge has 1 less.
Come on, Judge. Let's do it tonight. Let's get ahead of him.
For hits, you got Freddie Freeman at 121. Trey Turner is right behind him with 120.
Just we're clear, the Dodgers' top 2 guys have a combined 241 hits between them.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible.
Jesus.
Trey Turner is absolutely ridiculous. You can count on that guy to get you 1 hit every night betting.
Oh, yeah.
And here I thought Freddie Freeman would take a step back this year because he left Atlanta. I was very wrong.
For stolen bases, you have John Birdie at 28.
Hey, Jorge Mateo in Baltimore is going to beat him.
Dude, I hope so.
I've seen Jorge Mateo play. That man is fast.
I know.
Baltimore's got 2 guys up there, actually. Cedric Mullins, too. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Kylie.
For pitching leaders, for wins, you have Justin Verlander with 13. But Kyle Wright is right behind him. No pun intended.
Come on, Kyle Wright.
No. For ERA, you have Shane McClanahan with a 1.76 ERA. Ooh. For saves, you have Taylor Rogers with 28, but Josh Hader is obviously right there.
He's tied with him, actually.
Yeah. For strikeouts, you have Dylan Cease and Shane McClanahan with 154. Garrett Cole is right behind him with 153. And in quality starts, you have Framber Valdez at 17.
All right.
And so then
go ahead. I know. So I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
And then for standings, you have for AL East, you have the Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Orioles, then Red Sox.
Red Sox have fallen to 500.
Yeah, they have.
It's getting bad.
I'm going to the O's game today, so hopefully they
The
get
Orioles
over.
are over the Red Sox now?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
By half a game.
Orioles have a winning record too.
Did I put Orioles to go to the playoffs in my bracket?
You had you did not. Oh yeah, no, yes you do. You did. The Orioles is the last wild card.
You see, and I still bet against them yesterday. I'm crazy. I'm
We actually all of us had the Orioles as our last wild card team.
Yeah. For the AL Central, it's the Twins, then Guardians, then White Sox, then Royals, then Tigers. Nothing has changed. And for the West, you have the Astros, then Mariners, then Rangers, then Angels, and Athletics. Nothing changed there.
Hey, Mariners are only 11 games back. They're starting to catch up to the Astros.
Yeah, we'll see. For the NL, we got the East with the Mets, of course, then the Braves, Phillies, Marlins, then Nationals. Absolutely nothing has changed, except for the fact that the Pirates are now getting closer to the Nationals' run differential.
Ha!
For the AL Central, you have the Brewers, Cardinals, Cubs, Pirates, then Reds. Again, nothing changed.
Shout out to the Cubbies. They're I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but they're starting to get it together a little bit.
They're selling at the trade deadline, so they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, I know. They're still looking better.
Yeah. For the NL West, you have the Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Diamondbacks, then Rockies. So nothing has changed over the past week except for the Orioles are now over the Red Sox. So I expect that to change next week, though. So we'll see what happens next week. What was that?
Why are the Red Sox tanking like that?
I have no idea. I wish I knew.
It all started with that 28-5.
Yeah.
Really did. Well, we're going to be keeping a close eye on baseball with the trade deadline coming up. Next up, basketball time.
Oops.
We actually have stuff to talk about this week with basketball.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. And it starts with, oh, brother, this guy.
I know.
Celtics are in trade talks to get KD.
Yep. And I'm going to say this. I did like KD on the Nets. I got over him going to Golden State, and his Twitter was funny. But if this dude goes to the freaking Celtics, there is nothing for me to defend.
Hey, and both of you know my love for Jason Tatum, so you know that I have a little bit of Celtic in me. But I don't want Kevin Durant over there because this is why. That's disrespectful to Jaylen Brown. Like I said, you know my love for Jason Tatum. And this man, Jaylen Brown, outplayed Jason Tatum in the NBA Finals. So if you're going to trade anybody, you have to trade Jason Tatum. You can't even think about trading Jaylen Brown. And then not only that, Kevin Durant, it's just disrespectful to that whole team because that whole team as a young core just showed you we can work together. We can get to the NBA Finals. It's basically just like the Golden State Warriors. They built their team from the ground up. Steph Curry was drafted. Draymond Green was drafted. Klay Thompson was drafted. You feel me? So Marcus Smart was drafted. Jason Tatum was drafted. Jaylen Brown was drafted. All those guys were drafted. Like, they built their team from the ground up. Them building their team from the ground up, they got there as young guys in the championship, and now you want to bring this guy, Kevin Durant, because you think this is the last missing piece of your step over to go get a championship? No way. No way. This young core you have right here is the step over to go get a championship. They just couldn't do it last year because they played a team that was more experienced and have already been there.
Yeah. And it's just, I've said this the entire offseason for the NBA. Depth is going to win championships. And the reason...
We have a tracker on it.
Yeah. And I say it damn near every podcast. But the reason KD hasn't been moved yet is because the organizations know this. You look at Golden State with their, consistent track record. Their big three has stayed the same for 10 freaking years. 10 years. So when you have that consistency and you have that depth, it takes you a long way. It's not easy. No, it's obviously not easy. If winning a championship was easy, every team would do it. If playing the game was easy, everybody would do it. But like KD is gonna cost so much for the Celtics that I can promise you they will not get to even the Eastern Conference Finals with him.
I agree. I don't use this term lightly, but some players just feel like malignant tumors on the teams, and I know it's not the best analogy to use. I apologize, but it just seems like KD has become a tumor to every team he goes to. And when you pair him with another tumor like Kyrie, well, then that's cancer. So
now, would we be saying this if his foot size was half a size smaller? I don't think we would.
The thing is, I don't think Brooklyn beats the Suns in the championship. I think the Suns win the championship that year if Milwaukee doesn't get there.
You think so?
1,000%.
I don't know.
I'll take it.
I could see it going either way because that Brooklyn Nets team was just insane.
Yeah, well, Milwaukee was better.
Yeah, and I was there. I was at the game where the
Melania didn't like that. She doesn't like that. She thinks Brooklyn would have lost too.
I'm agreeing with the baby.
Hey, I'm not gonna fight a baby, but I'm just saying.
I will fight a baby, but not Melania. She's right. She's right. Look, at the end of the day, I think we just have to accept the fact that KD, this is not the same KD that we saw in OKC and Golden State. This is a KD. It feels like ever since that injury during that playoff run in 2019 with the Warriors, KD has been different, and the
His
KD
attitude feels different.
The attitude feels different. It feels like he has this it feels like ever since winning those championships with the Warriors, he just has this sense of superiority where he thinks he's the best player in the league. Which, to be fair, that's a good mentality to have. But it's also, one has to remember, like, he wasn't the main reason the Warriors won those titles. They already had that established core. They just brought him to be the cherry on top. And I feel like if you have that mentality, one can get a little bit lazy and not back it up.
But I'm going to tell you where that mentality comes from as well. That comes from being a kid raised in Maryland, because kids in Maryland, like, we have a lot of confidence. Like,
we really do.
So
yeah,
that it also comes with that. Like, he's a guy, and he was a guy who grew up in one of those parts of Maryland, Seat Pleasant, Maryland, where it's not really too much or anything like that. So he's betting on himself his whole life. Exactly. He's betting on himself. He's betting on his whole entire life. So, him making it to where he made it and being who he is now, and I think he was like that before even having those two championships.
Could have been. I still feel like that the Kevin Durant that we see nowadays is different. But I'll give you that. That's a good argument. The baby makes a strong argument there.
She does. She really does.
Maryland kids are just born different, so it could be. I still think if the Celtics go for Kevin, it's not really going to work out. I agree with you guys. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a long offseason.
This is why I say that too, though. This is a whole different sport, but Stephon Diggs carries himself the same exact way, and he's never even won a championship. This guy carries himself since the first day he's walked into Minnesota. He carried himself like he was the best wide receiver in the whole entire NFL.
Same with Trayvon Diggs.
Exactly. Trayvon Diggs has thought he was the best since the first day he walked in there. It's something about Maryland kids.
Speaking of Trayvon Diggs, I got a friend who went to school for 1 year with Trayvon Diggs freshman year when he was at Wheaton, wherever.
Wooten, yep.
Wooten, right. Wooten. And he said, I had a math class with Trayvon. I don't remember anything about him except that he was in my math class.
That's pretty cool, though.
That's so weird knowing that you went to school with like NFL players or people who are part of the NFL or trying to go pro.
It is.
Marcus Sims, come on the show.
We'll get him.
Teams got to be looking out for him, man. He is just too good.
All the NFL teams need to be calling Marcus Sims' phone, man.
I remember watching him at West Virginia, man. It was just there's a reason West Virginia was so good in the Big 12 the last couple of years. Marcus Sims.
It brings a different electrify to your team.
Yes, it does. Couple more things to talk about with go ahead, Kylie. Sorry.
I remember being in class with him when he first came to our school, and he was funny as shit, first of all, and he would always sleep in class. But once that dude got into the field, man, he was
ready to go. He didn't even put a pad on until the first game of the season, my senior year. And we already knew he was the best player on the team. And this is the thing about that. Like I said, so he doesn't practice all off season because he had broke his arm in the off season or something like that. It was either his arm or his hand or something. So he didn't practice all off season. No workouts, no 7-on-7, no scrimmages, anything. First time he puts pads on was week 1, and he goes for 10 catches for 250 yards.
Woo!
Dude, I'm telling you, Marcus is different, bro.
Dude, those for anybody listening who has no idea what we're talking about. So we all went to Sherwood High School, located in the middle of Maryland, Montgomery County. Sherwood's always been a football school. Their football team and the football team that they had when we were there, man, they had some players, guys who I think all of them could have gone pro. The center, Charlie Siarkas. I was friends with Charlie Siarkas.
Oh, dude,
nicest, biggest dude I've ever met.
I was actually just talking about Charlie the other day because I coached the 9-year-olds at OBGC, and Sherwood came out there to help us coach the other day because we have this partnership with Sherwood now. And I think either his brother or his cousin or something plays for Sherwood's JV now or something. So we were just talking about Charlie the other day. But go ahead, Isaac. Continue.
Yeah, no, you're good.
He was so nice.
Charlie Siarkas was great. Who's the quarterback? Sean Bliss. Sean Bliss was hilarious. I remember him. Bob Johnjo, he was great.
Oh yeah. Shout out my dog Bob, man.
Travis. Oh my gosh, Travis. Is he still at Boston College?
No, he actually had a trial with the Redskins, but then I think something happened. But then he was on the Giants roster when training camp. I
remember that. That.
I don't know what's going on with Trav now.
Yeah, he was. I remember he was like all American, like first team All State my senior year. He was just. I was in engineering class with him. Like the teacher always gave him a break. He's like, I mean, well, you are the star running back.
See that guy was crazy. He was a freshman when I was a junior, and the first time we ever saw Travis, he literally got off the bus or the plane from New York and got on the bus to go to summer camp with us because over the summer, Sherwood we used to go to like Stevenson or another school to have like summer workouts and stuff for a couple of days. And that was the first time we ever met Travis. Was on the bus to go to Lycoming. That's where we went. We went to Lycoming College. We went there, and we're like, who is this guy? Everybody's like, then the coach was like, yeah, this is Travis. He's from New York. This, that, and the third. And then they were like, he's in 9th grade. We're like, 9th grade because he's always been big.
Yeah.
And the first day he was on varsity with us, and ever since that day, I was like, this kid is the truth. He's gonna.
We got to have an episode of the podcast where we just talk about old high school stories and old college stories because that would just be so much fun. We could talk about that another time because we got to wrap this up because we're already 45 minutes into the podcast. Shout out to everybody who's been watching with us. By the way, shout out to Fallout Girl on YouTube who left a couple of comments. Apparently, when I did that little mess up in the intro, apparently I quoted a Limp Bizkit song that I've never heard of. So, shout out to Fallout Girl. She's always watching our show at some point. That's a friend of mine from up here in Carroll County. Shout out Fallout Girl for tuning in. Shout out to everybody. So a couple things to wrap up with basketball before we move into football because training camp has started and everybody get pumped. Football's almost here. First up, the Bucks G League affiliate got Alex Antetokounmpo. So the Bucks are collecting Antetokounmpos like Infinity Stones.
The only one they don't have is the one that's on the Lakers, I think.
Yeah. Thanasis. There we go.
Yeah.
I could spell it, but I couldn't remember how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I was blanking.
It took me forever to learn how to actually say the name until I found Giannis Antetokounmpo. There we go. Finally, the Pistons reveal their retro uniforms. They're bringing back the teal.
Finally.
I got to say, it's way better than the regular red, white, and blue they use because it's just overused. So many teams use red, white, and blue. Give me something different.
Sixers, bring back the black uniforms for the love of God. Bring back the Iverson era.
Those uniforms were hot, man.
That was the last time we went to the finals. Bring those back. I want to see Harden in them.
So before we go into NFL training camp, because there's a lot to talk about, quick jump over to hockey where not as much happened. The big thing that we did happen was Matthew Tkachuk got traded.
Not to the Devils.
Yeah. So here's the trade. Tkachuk was traded from the Flames to the Panthers for a condition. He and a conditional 4th-round draft pick in 2025 were traded to the Panthers for Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, Cole Schmidt, and a lottery-protected 1st-round pick in 2025. Calgary has now completely blown up their core. They finally decided, yeah, we weren't doing anything with this core, so let's get a new one. Let's start a rebuild. And Florida gets richer and better. Still won't help them because the Lightning are still going to whoop them in the playoffs like we always do. But yeah, other than that, not much else has happened in the hockey world. Of course, we do have some hockey specific shows here on Old City Sports Network that will go into way more detail than we can. Because again, when it comes to hockey, we're kind of more, we're more like casual hockey fans, but we're getting there. We're getting better. This is the first off season I think I've actually really paid attention to what's going on outside of what the Lightning are doing, and I've been having a blast.
Yeah,
With
and
that
we're
being
not
said,
gonna act like we know everything, and we're not the type of people to try to do clicks and shit like that. So
yeah,
I heard it was an overpay, but I don't know.
Let's get somebody on who can talk about that.
Exactly.
NFL. Yeah, here we go.
We're almost here. It's time.
Trading camp has started. Players are reporting. We're getting excited. Aaron Rodgers showed up looking like John Wick, and I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm not terrified.
The Packers ain't gonna do shit.
Once again, I can't wait to do an NFL season preview with you guys because we could just go in on all the teams.
We'll do it before week 1. Week before week
because
1.
we record right before Thursday Night Football, so we can do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, first up, Kyler Murray got paid, or as Kylie, you put in our notes here, overpaid.
Yes.
Apparently, this now means Lamar Jackson's going to get a bag. And Kylie, you have words about this.
I have a lot of words about this.
Go ahead.
Because the reason, other than the fact that he's a Dallas Cowboy, that I don't like, you fucking asshole. That I don't like.
You okay there?
Castellanos just got into a double play, and I feel bad because I don't want people to boo him. But god damn it.
Boo earns.
So the reason I don't like Ezekiel Elliott more than a normal Philly fan would, or any NFC East fan would, is because little bozo went to not Cancun, whatever freaking island he was on. I think it was that wasn't Cancun. It was whatever it was, with 2 years left on his contract to hold out because he wanted a new deal, and the Cowboys overpaid him. This is almost the exact same situation, minus the fact that Kyler didn't go anywhere. Kyler has done less than what Zeke has. And, I like Kyler. He's very good. But what has he done to get paid, to get his actions paid?
Tell him again, Kylie.
It shows that players can just sit out, get a new deal without doing anything. You got to do something. Lamar Jackson has an MVP. He has records.
And let me get into this real quick.
Go off.
Kyler Murray had DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, AJ Green,
Zach Ertz.
He's even in a point in time I think in his rookie year he had Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
it's washed up Larry Fitzgerald, but this is a guy who has more tackles in his career than he has drop passes.
Isn't that crazy?
So you're telling me with all these great wide receivers around you, and I think I've said this on an episode before, Kyler Murray, he at Oklahoma, he strived and he was great because he had 5-star people around him.
Mm-hmm.
He got to the NFL, his rookie year, it was only Larry Fitzgerald. There wasn't too many 5-star people around him. But now he had DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, and all those guys around him last year. He doesn't do anything at all. He comes out week 1 and he tricks us.
Yeah.
We're thinking, oh my God, the Cardinals are going to be crazy this year. No, they didn't do anything. And then, I understand you lose DeAndre Hopkins to injury, but that shows right there. You lose DeAndre Hopkins to injury at the end of the year, you don't do anything. So you have to have those 5-star guys around you for you to do something. Now you're going into a new season where you just got paid, but you don't have your star receiver for 6 weeks. You do have your old roommate in Marquise Brown, but where's the other 5-star guy that's on the other side?
And they had to add 4 hours of film in the contract.
Right. Kyler Murray has not shown us enough at all to deserve the contract he deserves. I mean, that he deserves to deserve the contract that he got. And then we go to Lamar Jackson, like Kylie was saying. Everybody hates Lamar Jackson as a quarterback for some reason. This is how I know I'm talking real business right now, because she's just staring at me and like, Dad.
See, she knows.
Yeah.
Right. But everyone hates Lamar Jackson as a quarterback for some reason. But look at what Lamar Jackson has done in his 4 years, almost 5 years going into the league now. His rookie year, he doesn't play too much because he's behind Joe Flacco. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
When he comes in, he still goes to the playoffs. Yeah, he loses, but okay. His second year, he has a great year, but it's overshadowed because Patrick Mahomes has an even greater year.
Yeah.
His third year, he overshadows everybody, and he goes out and wins the MVP.
I thought MVP was the second season. Oh, no. Wait.
No, MVP was his third because him and Mahomes came in the same year, right?
No, he was the year at.
MVP was the second season.
Okay.
Hold up. Figure this out.
But either way, yeah. I mean.
But then not only that, the guy started the season that season, the MVP season. What is it, Isaac?
2019, second year.
Okay.
Yeah, he was drafted after the year after
him and Mahomes came in the year after each other. So
they both started the same. Never mind.
Lamar in that MVP season, he starts the season 0-2. You know what happens after that? He wins 14 straight games.
Yeah.
14 straight. Yeah. He gets to the playoffs and they lose, but when they get to the playoffs and they lose to the Titans, there's 10 drop passes in that football game. So everybody's saying Lamar Jackson's not a quarterback. He can't throw. He can't this. He can't that. There was 10 drop passes in that football game. Then on top of that, last year, he's going to go to the playoffs again last year if he stays healthy, because you know why? He started the season 8-1. 8-1.
8-3, but yeah, you're right.
Okay, it's the same difference. 8-3, 8-1. It's the same thing. The guy is ridiculous. So for everybody saying this guy isn't a quarterback, this, that, and the third, Kyler Murray plays the same style that Lamar Jackson plays. Why is Kyler Murray a quarterback and Lamar Jackson isn't? Lamar Jackson has just as many wins in 50 games as Tom Brady did in his first 50 games. Nobody else has that stat but Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady.
Yeah. All the Ravens have had with Lamar is playoffs.
Except last year because he was injured half the season.
And I'm pretty sure he had COVID.
Come on. So Lamar Jackson must be getting paid Patrick Mahomes numbers if Kyler Murray's getting paid that. That is the end-all, be-all of this.
And it's frustrating because I would like my quarterback to take less money. That way we can buy, more players. And speaking of that, when has Lamar ever had a number one wide receiver?
Exactly. And he goes to the playoffs every year.
Every year.
He's never had a real number one receiver. Kyler Murray has 20 number one receivers, and this guy gets $250 million, whatever he got. That is crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, I want my players to take less money so we can add on more talent, kind of like what Brady does. But it's just, it's kind of an insult to him to not get that much money at this point.
Yeah.
But that also goes to, like you say, with Brady. Brady takes less money to add superstars. But that just shows you, because this is another guy guys hate at quarterback. I mean, yeah, everyone says he's a great quarterback, but everyone doesn't give him the respect he deserves like he deserves. But everyone hates Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. But look what he's done with barely any number one receivers in his time. And Tom Brady's had plenty great number one receivers. Tom Brady had a number one receiver that him and that guy had a 17-0 season. They couldn't even
One
finish.
of the best wide receivers in history too.
Exactly. So you know, people got to give Aaron Rodgers his props too. So
Absolutely.
Every time he gets paid, Aaron Rodgers deserves his money.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't even have 100 interceptions in his career yet. So that just goes to show you. But we got really distracted here. So
You're good. You're good.
Julio Jones signed to the Bucs. Isaac, you're pissed off. Go ahead.
I'm not necessarily. At first I was a little pissed off because it's like, okay, it feels to me like the Bucs are just going after big name free agents now who are past their prime, and we become a retirement home. But then I remembered Julio Jones is 33 and still can produce, so I was like, you know what, it's fine. Look, I'm just like, I guess I'm just not used to big name players coming to Tampa because it's never happened before. But yeah.
Yeah, you're used to homegrown talent, and
I am. I'm used to the Bucs not getting big names to sign with us.
And for those watching, that team is 99% homegrown.
Yeah, the Bucs are most of the Bucs players. The few players the Bucs have that are the problem is that the Bucs for years had a legitimate Super Bowl contender. It was just that their quarterback was trash.
Yeah.
And our defense needed some help. So we got some big name free agents for the defense, like Ndamukong Suh and Shaq Barrett. Tom Brady is not the sole. Tom Brady is not the sole reason that we won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady motivated the team and gave them a mindset, but it was the talent surrounding him that helped us win the Super Bowl. That's my opinion. What just happened, Kylie?
Error. Oh my God! Stott's going to third. Let's go. Let's go. His mom's my best friend. Let's go.
And to
Braves suck.
Well, Julio Jones is still Julio Jones. Don't last year fool you. Last year he had Ryan Tannehill, who is another person who did not deserve to get paid. He is a terrible quarterback. I don't know who tricked the NFL thinking Tannehill was this great quarterback, but Derrick Henry is the Titans. Ryan Tannehill is not the Titans. So him having Ryan Tannehill last year, it didn't help Julio Jones' case at all. And I think he had 500 yards or something like that. But Julio Jones is still Julio Jones, and he is going to produce with Tom Brady.
Absolutely. I just keep thinking of OBJ, honestly.
Yeah. All I can say is this.
Mike Evans next.
Yeah. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson. Oh, and Kyle Rudolph, too. Forgot we had Kyle Rudolph and Cam Brate. That is a top-tier receiving core. That is the best receiving core in the NFL.
This is how she's going to be.
Who needs AB?
This is how I know she's going to be a sports fanatic, because she just fell asleep in my hands listening.
Oh, adorable.
I love it.
Yeah. Last couple things to talk about with football before we wrap things up. Trey Lance was officially named the franchise guy for the 49ers. So now, again, I know we ask this all the time. Where's Jimmy going?
I think he's going to be a backup, honestly.
I think they're going to trade him in the division and go to Seattle.
Ooh.
Why do I like that so much?
I like it too.
And that perfectly segues into our last topic. Chris Carson retired. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Marshawn Lynch, but never really worked out. He had some good runs. I know NFL posted one on Twitter against the Vikings where he just tore off like 5 tacklers. I thought, damn, we really missed out on Chris Carson becoming the next big thing.
Right?
Yeah.
For all my sports bettors out there, if the Seahawks do not get a quarterback by week 1, put your whole house on the Broncos, because Russell Wilson is going to destroy those guys.
Russell Wilson will just be standing down like, "Hello, Pete. Remember when you passed on the 1 yard line?"
Yeah, right.
Watch the Broncos and the Seahawks game go to overtime. The Broncos get down to the 1 yard line and actually pass the ball and score. And Russell just walks off looking at Pete like,
since we're on the NFL topic, you guys want to have some fun real quick and do some week 1 predictions since they're already up?
Let's do it.
might as well.
We can go off paper, looking on the paper teams.
Super early week 1 predictions. We'll do official ones before the season begins, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so we open up. We got Bills and Rams.
That is a fantastic way to open the season, and the Bills are going to win that game. Buffalo is on a John Wick style revenge mission this season, and
right.
I can arguably see the Bills only losing 1 or 2 games. So Buffalo wins that one. It's going to be really good though.
I like the Rams. They're at home and they're an underdog. You're telling me I get the home team as an underdog coming off a Super Bowl championship? Come on now. It's easy. I like the Rams.
Yeah.
And not only that, Sean McVay is 5-0 as a head coach in week 1.
Ooh.
For all my sports out there. Sean McVay is
5-0.
All right. Well done.
I like the Rams. We got the Eagles and the Lions. Oh. What do you like? Rams or Bills? Rams or Bills?
Give me Bills.
Okay. 1 Ram, 2 Bills. We got the Eagles and the Lions.
Eagles are gonna freaking murder them.
Eagles.
New look Eagles versus a Lions team that is with the most motivating head coach in the NFL. You know what? Shocker. Give me the Lions upset the Eagles.
Hey yo, hey.
If the Eagles don't score 21 points in the first half, give me the Lions. Because the Eagles look the craziest on paper right now. The Eagles really should win the Super Bowl if everyone stays healthy and paper looks the way paper does. But we know things don't happen like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but I got to go Eagles. I
think the Lions. I think
she's agreeing with us.
Nah, she's crying. I don't think Milani likes the Eagles.
Welcome to the dark side. Go
She's
Lions.
Definitely a Commanders fan.
We got the 49ers and the Bears.
Ooh.
Give me the Bears.
That's going to be
I'm so low on the 49ers this year.
Depending on who starts, I don't know who's going to start for the Niners. So at the moment, I'll say Bears. But once we get an idea of who the starter for the Niners is, I might have to switch it up.
I like the 49ers. I just don't know who Justin Fields is going to throw to.
That's a good point.
They have N'Keal Harry now, so.
N'Keal Harry, what did he do for the Patriots?
It's fair.
That guy had time. He had a time and he didn't do anything.
It's true.
We got the Steelers and the Bengals. I like the Bengals by 50.
Oh my God. Bengals by 60. Just already.
Bengals by 1,000.
Bengals versus kissing titties. Yeah. Go Steelers.
We got the Patriots and the new look Dolphins.
Patriots.
Wait. Where's the game being held?
It's in Miami.
Dolphins by 55. Dolphins will annihilate them. It's Miami.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm still going with the Patriots, though.
All right, we got the Browns and the Panthers.
Baker's revenge game, Panthers.
It's in Carolina. I think I like the Panthers, too.
Yeah.
Colts and the Texans. I like the Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
Saints, Falcons. I got to ride with my guy, Congo, man. I'm going with the Falcons.
We have to go to the games where the Falcons play the Commanders and the Ravens.
I want the Falcons to obliterate the Saints.
We all
like
do.
The Falcons.
Me too.
We got the Ravens and the new look Jets with a lot of young guys and a lot of young talent. But I like Lamar over anybody.
Yeah, that's a Lamar win.
Lamar in a contract year, dude's gonna go stupid.
We have the Jaguars and the Commanders.
Commanders, easy by a million.
Yeah. Sorry, Jacksonville.
Wentz is pissed off about that loss in Indy, so.
Sorry, Jacksonville.
We have another great division week 1 game, Packers-Vikings.
Oh my God! Did you see how Aaron Rodgers pulled up for training camp? Minnesota, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Minnesota. Their franchise will be wiped off the face of the earth, Packers.
We have a Giants Titans.
Who watching this game? Who's watching this game?
Nobody. Give me Titans though.
Titans, yeah, King Henry.
What the hell just happened? We're up by 3 though. Let's go. Screw the Braves.
Okay, we got the Raiders and the Chargers. Another great division game.
Ooh, they had that insane game to end last year. I think the Chargers get revenge.
Give me Chargers.
But the Raiders are going to be stupid this year. Raiders are going to be stupid good. Actually, you know what? No. Chargers get revenge here. But when the game is back in Vegas, that's when the Raiders strike.
All right, we got the Chiefs and the Cardinals. I like Pat Mahomes over.
Chiefs, easy.
Kansas City is going to be super pissed off. They played horribly last year, to be honest. They really didn't deserve to host the AC Championship game. And Patrick Mahomes has probably had a talk with his entire family to shut the hell up and let me play football.
I hope so.
Yeah, Chiefs are gonna make the Cardinals look silly for giving Kyler that extension.
We got the
Cardinals
and the Cowboys.
Sunday Night Football.
Cowboys are going 0-17.
Tom Brady's never lost to the Cowboys.
And he never will.
Continue. Yeah,
he never will. He never will. We get that week 1 dub just like last year. Cowgirls won't know what hit him.
Then to end it all, we have Broncos Seahawks.
I'm telling you, Broncos are going to win on the 1 yard line at the 1 yard line.
I like the Broncos. Russell Wilson, new look Broncos.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, Cam Sutton. Yeah.
Give me a Seahawks upset.
Ooh. Are you betting on Jimmy G going there?
Yes.
Okay.
If Jimmy G goes there, that can be a ball game. Because DK Metcalf and Jimmy G will be a problem.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Pete Carroll is able to help Drew Luck at least a tiny.
He's going to come into his own.
I don't think so.
There it is. I was waiting for that. But either way, I might take Seattle.
Yeah.
If Jimmy G doesn't go to Seattle, I might think differently. But as of right now, I'm considering Jimmy G to the Seahawks. So,
all right,
we'll see.
Well, let's wrap things up. Let's start things up with Goober of the Week. It's co-Goober of the Week. On the one hand, we got the Red Sox. On the other hand, we never talk about this sport. I think we should, but we never do. This Goober of the Week, I know, Kylie, you said we have to talk about this on the podcast because you saw me retweet about this. Our Goober of the Week is Joe Gibbs Racing from over in the world of NASCAR, who had their top 2 drivers, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, who finished 1-2 at Pocono this past weekend, disqualified. First time since 1960 that NASCAR has disqualified the winner of a Cup Series race. Why, you may ask, were they disqualified? So, you know how the cars have the sponsorship wrap on them?
Yeah.
They had an extra layer of wrapping to give them more aerodynamic downforce. And they got caught. I understand that there's an old phrase in racing that says, if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. But if you're going to cheat, could you at least do it in a way that, you can get away with it? Because, they take a look at the cars after each race. They're going to see that the front is a little thicker. I'm just saying. Anyway, Goober of the Week, Joe Gibbs Racing. Y'all really thought that would work. Okay. Who won it all that year? Let me pull up my list because I forgot what year I wanted to do. Give me a second. Last week we went far back with 1996. This week we're going a little closer to home. Give me 2015.
2015? Why
2015.
do I feel like that year's a blur for some reason?
Kind of was. A lot of these titles people kind of forget. We'll start with the easy one. The Super Bowl champs. It was Super Bowl 50.
Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos. Peyton going out on top. One of the best Super Bowls of all time, in my opinion. Just good old-fashioned defensive football, and the Panthers crying.
NBA is easy, too.
Yeah, NBA champion of 2015 was?
Warriors.
Beginning of the dynasty. Yeah. The Forgotten Series. The Cavs took them to 6.
Yeah.
No Kyrie, no Kevin Love.
Yeah. Give me the champions of Major League Baseball for 2015.
Was it it was the Royals?
It was. Royals beat the Mets.
Royals.
Sorry about that, Calvin. I forgot the Nets lost that one.
Was the Royals.
The most random World Series run of all time. 2 years, the Royals just randomly went to the World Series and then went back to being terrible. Still don't know how they did it. Finally, Stanley Cup champs for 2015.
What? Why do I feel like it's the Penguins?
Not the Penguins. They were the year before. They were the year after.
Are they just as annoying as the Penguins?
Mm-hmm.
Bruins?
Kylie, what's the team that was the dynasty of the 2010s in hockey that everybody hates now?
Blackhawks.
There you go. Blackhawks beat my Lightning in, I think, 5 games. That was baby Tampa. That was the little core of Tampa that would go on to win back-to-back cups. That was when we were in our baby phase. We made a wild run to the finals and faced the Blackhawks. Technically, it shouldn't count anymore because of what the Blackhawks did. We won't get into that because we're trying to avoid certain topics like that. But let's just say all 3 of those Blackhawks titles should be null and void because ew. And yeah, no. with all due respect, Blackhawks, go screw yourselves.
All right, so 2 facts and a lie. Isaac. All right, so where'd it go? All right, so number 1. Yes, 4-0.
4-0?
Yeah, 5-0. All right, so we got number 1. MLB voted Mets closer Edwin Diaz as the best walk-up song. Number 2, a face-off in hockey was originally called a puck-off or a face of the puck. Number 3, between 2 and 3 jockeys are killed each year.
Ooh. I feel like number
I gotta go with number 1 as the lie. No, wait, what's you know this, Cal? What's Edwin Diaz's walk-up song?
I don't know the walk-up song, but I know it is pretty jammy because I was jamming to it the other night when he was walking up too. Because somebody posted it on Twitter. I don't know if it's been voted as the best, but it is a very jammy song, so that could be true.
I feel like I have to listen to Edwin Diaz's walk-up song.
You do. Look it up.
Let me find it up.
It is well known, and honestly, I love it.
Hang on, Edwin Diaz interest song. I'm gonna mute my mic because I don't want to get copyright.
Dude, it is 5-0 now. I freaking love this.
Okay, yeah, no, it's number 1 is 100% true. Yeah, I remember that song. That's awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go with number 2. I don't think I don't think the people who invented hockey were that dumb to call it that. And now for the face of the puck.
I think number 2 is the lie too.
You guys are going number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I am so good at tricking you. It's number 1.
What? That's not number 1?
No.
What? I demand a recount.
Nobody voted, bro. It wasn't a vote.
What?
It is the best walk-up song. That shit is elite. That is terrifying. Like, imagine you're like in the World Series, Game 7, and like you're down by 1, and the bases are loaded, no out, and this dude comes up to pitch. You are shitting yourself.
Oh my gosh!
You are grounding into a double play.
I don't want the Mets
at
in the World
home
Series.
and third.
I don't want the Mets in the World Series.
You are grounding into a double play from home to third, and the next pitch is to pop out in right field to end the game and win the World Series. That is what happens when that dude comes on the mound with that walk-up song.
I still can't believe they called it face of the puck.
I know, right?
Every week we do 2 facts and a lie, and Kylie, I learned something new. I love it. All right, Calvin, let's finish things up. What are your best bets for the afternoon or the week?
Oh man. So for what I was looking into today so far, I really like the Dodgers and the Giants today. Dodgers and the Giants are the only thing that really look appealing to me right now. As far as today, the Yankees-Mets could be a toss-up due to the Mets winning yesterday. I don't know if the Yankees lose twice in a row, but Mad Max is also on the mound. Orioles and Rays, that's another toss-up, so I'm staying away from that as well. I can tell you though, I do like Trey Turner to get a hit. You can always count on that guy. Trey Turner one. So Trey Turner one hit is a great lock. I would also go with Justin Turner for one hit, just because Justin Turner is batting .395 all time against Patrick Corbin. So that's another good lock there. And then that guy that plays for the Asterisks, Jose Altuve, I like him for a hit as well today. Those are the best bets today. It's not too many. So four bets: Dodgers money line, Giants money line, Trey Turner. 5 actually: Trey Turner, Justin Turner, and Jose Altuve.
See, they don't have to be plentiful. They just have to be good ones.
Right.
That are simple, easy to understand, and if they have a very good chance of hitting, which they always do with you. So, always. Yep. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for sticking through to the extra 17 minutes.
This was a long one. It was
a long one. It was a long one. We had a lot of opinions on this episode. But you know what? It's fun. It's fun. We always tweet. Stay with us there. Be sure to listen to this tomorrow or whatever, and just check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. We are literally everywhere. So just be active with us. We're always active. I am constantly on Twitter. So just reach out to us. We always like to talk to people. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch us next week.